I don't think these are going to give me too much trouble. I'm hoping that I'm going to be finished in less than an hour. Let's see what happens. Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm John and this is Shimoda Life. In the last video, we finished making these beautiful sill beams. This was my first time ever building a sill beam, and it was all essentially chisel work. I'm really happy with the results. And so next steps, I intended, and it could still happen in this video, I'm not sure, but I intended the next steps to be the rafters, okay? The rafters sit on these sill plates, just like this, and then that's the top of the house. Then all the major components of this tiny house are built and stacked right here, and then the next step is trucking them out to the mountain and building the house out on the mountain. Before I get started with the rafters, I really want to confirm the positioning of the sill beams on the posts. These sill beams, hold on a second, let me get the book. You can see here that these two sill beams sit on 3 posts each. And each of these posts has a tenon at the top of it, and I cut the mortise in the bottom of these sill beams last week. So these sill beams have to sit comfortably on the 3 tenons for the 3 posts. So the first thing I want to do today is check that. That means I've got to dig these 3 posts out of my pile, set them on the floor, and then see if the tenons will fit into the mortises of the sill beams. I want to do that first. When I do that, then I can check the positioning of the mortises for all these diagonal braces. These are giving me some trouble. I've had some difficulty cutting the right size or positioning it correctly. So I really want to get this figured out before I start working on the rafters. Okay, so let's go after this little alignment checking activity first. So it's pretty critical that you have all of your beams, posts, lengths of wood numbered and identified beforehand. Even before all the cutting takes place, you've got to have that. Because right now I have to find the right post for the right hole. Now, granted, ideally, all posts should be interchangeable, but I'm not a manufacturing operation with millimeter specifications. I'm a DIYer. So I've got to make sure that the right tenon, the right tenon on the right post is going into the right mortise. Okay, we're making slow but steady progress. The two sill beams now, the mortises on them are finalized for the posts. So all 6 posts. When I have the posts standing, the 2 sill beams will fit on them, no problem. But I don't have the diagonal brace mortises in those sill beams yet. I'm going to go ahead and cut 4 mortises on each sill beam right now, just for the diagonal braces. And they should all fit in just perfectly after that. The task in front of me today is the diagonal braces. So you've seen me cut a few of these, and you've seen me use these as I was assembling the bents. Okay, I essentially pre-cut 2 of them, and I was using them in all of the bents that I was building to make sure that I was getting some consistent measurements. Okay, so that's what we got here. And this is my model, and I'm going to scribe from this piece the other for roughly 11 or 12 other braces. There are 14 in total, so I think I've got 12 to do today. I'm going to cut them all in this exact likeness, exact same dimensions, and then we've got all the braces done. I don't have to refit anything because I've already done that. I'll finish the braces, I'll put them in the pile, and they'll go up to the mountain with me in a couple of weeks. Okay. All afternoon yesterday I was thinking and thinking and thinking about how I could accurately cut the mortise and the tenon joint for these rafter beams that are going to sit together at the peak without a ridge beam in there. So they're going to sit on their own. They have to dovetail together like this. And how am I going to do it accurately? I couldn't use the methodology in the book because my timbers are different sizes than what they use in the book. So I thought about maybe I could scribe them all side by side, just like this. Lay them together right there, draw the lines on them. Doesn't matter how far, if they're, 1 3/8 inches from the edge or 1.5 inches from the edge, it doesn't matter, because the lines, if I draw them on both pieces at the same time, the lines line up and I just cut to the line. So that's what we're going to try this morning. Okay, we managed to get all of the rafters cut as far as the mortise and tenon part goes. Okay, so like I said, I didn't finish the tails, but this has been a very productive weekend. I'm surprised I didn't get more done on 3 days of work, but I guess that's the way it goes. This means that I've got all of the major components done. Some tasks that I have left, first of all, I want to plane some of the inside faces, smooth them out a bit, and coat them with probably a mixture of tung oil and alcohol. I'm going to leave everything pretty much natural color. So I get it smoothed and planed and smoothed and coated with some tung oil, and that should be good for a few years. I have to drill all the holes. I have to make all the pegs for those holes. And I still have a couple of horizontal girts that have to be done. There's maybe two or three left. But essentially what that means is this pile is my house. And pretty much everything is numbered that has to be numbered. And it can be now, almost now, put in the truck and carted up to the mountain. Like I've said to you before, I only work on the weekends. I've got a day job, so probably looking at 3 more weekends of work before the tiny house is on the mountain. But stay tuned, because it's going to be on the mountain very soon. Thanks for hanging around, and we'll see you in the next one.